I guess, but so, you also have to say like what level of success is successful.
Still in this day and age, when you've got that internet and your mobile phone and that.
Yeah, still in this day and age.
So why are like black people leading music and culture like in that way? If it's still in this day and age that they can't, it's like not possible for them.
It's just popularism. But it's just a select people that have been chosen to be.
So there's no
who's selected these people?
Yeah, who's selected now?
Pardon?
You can't say that. You can't say like, oh yeah, like every
selecting.
But imagine how insulting that is to say to someone, oh yeah, you were selected to be successful.
Yeah, so even if they do reach success in your eyes, you were selected, bro. You were selected. And it's like, wow, so I can't win.
You know, there's something called natural selection.
That's what coronavirus is doing. Natural selection.
So it's not a selection.
That sounds like some insult talk, you know. all that comes to my head was insult.
But it's just a selection. It's selection. Like you work hard and you get lucky. I'm sorry, but you know, it's majority of the time is luck that gets you there.
Yeah, but you only say that for people like say for the presidency, like Obama, he was selected. You can say that for people in political power. You know, you can say that for people in political power.
Let's see.
But you can't say that for someone who's worked hard and then they've become successful. It's like, oh yeah, you've
but no one does it then by themselves, though.
Of course, no one does it by themselves.
But exactly, it's like the people that they meet. I've probably met a lot of people, and they probably be like, okay, I'll probably choose 5, 10, go away. It would be that kind of a thing. It would be that sort of a thing. Like,
you know,
a bunch of people will apply, and maybe 2 or 3 will be selected.
What's that again?
And the rest will be thrown away. It's just, you know, natural selection. Like, so I'm not fussed that people do whatever they want. Like, if you work hard and you put determination and effort to it, you give yourself a more advantage of being selected. Yes. You know, you be more advantage to being successful. Yes.
I don't know. Maybe it's the word selected that's.
Remember the word selected is putting you off. Yeah, it's putting people off. Like, you know,
because it makes it sound like
selected sounds like you already believe your ideology already projects, or some people might assume that you believe there's like an elite racist white old man doing all of this and selecting people and blah blah blah.
Oh shit! You want to hear something as well? You know, there's a Jewish old guy called George Soros.
He funds us. I just killed you guys.
What?
I just killed you guys.
What the fuck? Why are you on
Google it.
I just killed you guys.
Google it. George Soros, man.
He funds you.
Imagine he funds. Is it the American one? Isn't it? Yeah. Like here we're funding the Black Lives Matter movement here.
Okay.
I think they've raised like 100 million. So, no, not 100 million. Sorry, man.
You talk about
what was them last quotes I sent you as well about man doing stuff like that? Remember Booker T. Washington?
Yeah, but he's talking about. Do you know that guy who had a debate with Peterson? He's a race baiter. He's a race baiter. Let's just say
there's 2 of them, innit?
Yeah.
You wanna read them? Some big words in there still. I'm dyslexic, so fuck that shit. That's long.
Oh, you know who Booker T. Washington is?
I don't know who that is.
He's a boss.
He's an African American writer, intellectual. So mine goes, there's a certain class of race problem solvers who don't want the patient to get well, because as long as the disease, I feel like I'm reading in front of this class.
Shut up and continue.
I feel it's kind of nervous, isn't it? Alright, let me start again. There's a certain class of race problem solvers who don't want the patient to get well, because as long as the disease holds out, they have not only an easy means of making a living, but also an easy medium through which to make themselves prominent before the public. Wait, there's another one. This one's long, so fuck that.
That's a good one still. As if you said this one's long, so fuck that.
People make
our guests can read this one.
What?
Yeah, come on, you can read it. Yeah, read it, come on. Let's go.
Alright. There is another case. Oh shit, that's Christ Lord.
You guys can't read.
I can read.
Didn't you go to school?
Shut up.
Come on.
There's another class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles the wrongs and the hardship of the Negro race before the public. Having learned that they are able to make a living out of their troubles, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising the wrongs, partly because they want sympathy, and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their jobs. Okay.
I can't even remember what point we was talking about before that.
I don't know. You just told me to start reading it. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll read.
So, I
always say.
Or what was said after.
Well, I guess you say like people use things to trend.
Basically, he's saying like there's people who don't want. It's like a religion, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the church is supposed to be like a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
People go there, their patients, Father, I've sinned, forgive me, and then boom, they feel better, they leave, and they only come back when they feel hurt, right?
Yeah.
So he's saying like they don't want the patients to go, they want the problem to exist so that they can still keep making money off that problem.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying like that there's rest betters out there using, and of course there is. Like there's this guy.
So what,
sucks that I forget his name.
Was that Jewish person doing that then? By
George
investing
Soros.
into something?
He's just, like...
It's a conspiracy.
Bro,
Is it a conspiracy?
Yeah, it's just
What was
something some white boys made up. So.
What's his name? When Jay-Z said some old white man is running this rap shit. Yeah, it's basically that situation again.
And yeah, that's a really easy one to wish and want to believe, of course. You know how you said some white boys made it up? How do you know that? And if some white boys did make it up, do you just by a little bit have a sort of bias to like not really want to listen to what people say because they're white?
Well, I have a bias in not watching like only white people's movies.
What? Only white people is?
Movies that only exist with white people in.
Yeah, for me that's sad because like I'm shit at remembering movies, but I could bring up some classic, really good British movies that probably are full white cast that you're gonna miss out on. And if another white person believes in that separation, you know the amount of bangers of the black culture movies are gonna miss out on.
I know.
All that stuff.
But
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that though. Everyone has their own preferences. I don't always.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong in having a preference.
I mean, shit, I don't watch Medea. I don't like Medea.
I don't like Medea.
Fuck Medea. Why is it still making movies?
Yeah, I
Like,
hear
what the
that,
fuck?
but like a part of me still like feels
I
like
get
there
you.
is something wrong with it. Because it's not an easy thing to like when I think to myself, think about all these ideologies, all these so-called races and that kind of stuff, the cultures and the habits of each one, and take the characteristics and put them in like a silhouette form, if you like, of a being, and that represent that one human, the characteristics of the human, and that blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. So doing that helps get like a better upper image of all of it. But like it's hard for me to, because I try my best when I don't agree with something. I try my best to listen to more people who I don't agree with and stuff.
The thing is, even if did you finish?
I feel like
I mean, even if we didn't have race, I think we'd still be having the same problems.
I mean, definitely.
We spoke about this for
moreover, we have race, and this has been happening since 1644. So, what are we talking about?
For people who don't know what 1644 is alluding to,
Yes.
it's slavery and shit, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So, like, the thing I'm just trying to protect out is like the reason why there's some people out there that
if there was no slavery, sorry to interrupt you again, if there was no slavery, do you think that would like then you'd still wouldn't be 100% on us separating and stuff? What's the main factor of it, is what I'm trying to say?
I mean, if there was no slavery, then I don't know, life would be different, innit?
Yeah.
So is that a yeah?
Yeah, but slavery happened.
But would you not chill also with the white people in Australia who also got took as slaves and given British names and stuff from the UK and that?
the white people in Australia.
Australia's kind of fucked up as well.
Because they had that. Because you know, fucking Britain, how dark they are, what they've done and shit. They had their pockets in Australia one time as well, doing the same to them.
Well,
shit, the Australians came to Australia.
And then so
no, they discovered Australia, yeah? And then there was like other people. I don't know what they were, but you know. Flora. Fauna and flora. Fauna and flora. So Australia's fucked up as well.
So that's what I'm saying.
Like, so would you or not? So would you talk to them whites because they've been through slavery as well or not?
I don't feel sympathy for them. I'm sorry. Like to me.
For me, that's hard because like as a human being, I still feel sympathy, whatever colour.
Okay, well, it's just that there's some people that were classified as flora and fauna since 2004. So you know.
So
what's the difference?
Since 2004.
No, before that.
The Aboriginals were classified as fauna and flora.
Oh yeah, another question. Yeah.
Till 2004.
Where did America come from then? Where did Americans come from?
Americans. I don't know. Like, is it fucking Columbus that was sailing around and then he got lost?
But where from?
Is it from?
How dare you?
Somewhere in Europe.
He didn't even get to America.
Is it Europe?
Columbus did not get to America.
Where did I don't even know where it came from. You know?
It got to it's in the Indian Ocean somewhere. It didn't touch America. Fucking asshole.
So how come they say he discovered America?
Because that is an idea. You see, the ideas that are there. You know.
Wait, so he actually never stepped foot in America?
No.
So who did? Which American stepped foot? Was it his son?
It's just lies, man. It's smoke and mirrors, and it's fucking everywhere. And if people can look at the evil beyond the colour and the traits of the history, and know that the human is a reincarnating soul. I don't get too woo-woo, but it's a reincarnating occurrence. Maybe not me individually, but the white impression, the black and whatever, is so to still attach that onto them who haven't even been a part of it personally and stuff.
Yeah. Imagine how much history has been lost just because of racist ideas as well.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, it was one people doing XYZ to the other.
Yeah, that's right. But like, I don't feel like it's right when we put the colour of them on because that creates more separation.
You have to put the colour of them on.
Call them British.
No, because
call them American.
Because if I'm them, then you're categorising me as that filthy like higher upper class, and I have biases myself. I can't help sometimes not liking people who are of higher classes than I am because I've gone through a shitty system as well.
I understand, definitely.
So for them,
but it's just
so that's the thing.
Then
it's not just a race problem; it's a class problem as well.
And I'm saying,
well, it's a race problem.
Yeah, but who suffers more? It's the lower class and the minorities.
All right. Yeah. People are still suffering, but it's just that there is a race problem.
So I like separate more when the minorities and the lower class and shit, and everyone can come together and sort of say like, yo, what the fuck? There's 85 richest people on the planet right now. What are you doing? Like, help something out.
You see,
but that in itself is still socialism.
No. We can. The thing is, we can do that. But there is still a race problem. Like, the race problem does not only affect the upper class, it goes upper and then gets to lower. The lower class are labelled the upper class.
Yeah, so obviously for something like that, it's going to have to start from the lower class and come up because we ain't going to end racism from top to low, are we?
You're not going to. That's what I'm saying.
So how do we do that then?
That's why I'm giving the idea. Unify, exactly. I'm giving the idea.
But you're saying unify in a small group when there's this whole group.
Yes.
What's that? Sorry. Go on.
What's that? What?
This old group is still divisive. Like, this old group can still be used to manipulate the small group, and it's used every single time.
Not if they don't have the same outlook as them ones at the top, no?
But okay, so maybe let's say some people do and some people don't. But there's still people that don't. Like, look at the BBC today.
Fuck the BBC.
A couple of days ago. You fuck the BBC, but look at what they're doing.
Bunch of paedophiles.
Look at what they're doing.
I'm not even looking at what I'm doing. Like, fuck the BBC. Fuck the BBC.
Like,
we need to talk about statues as well, and that fucking paedophile statue outside the entrance at BBC. Who was carved by a known paedophile itself. So. Fuck BBC and don't pay TV license.
Okay, so what do you guys think about the statues then?
Let me just get to what I wanted to say before. What was that one fucking fable? And all the kids are together. It's in Africa. Me and you spoke about it before. There's meant to be like, okay, so imagine there's like an evil person who wants to see separation, like an older man, and there's like bare children, and he's like he's hid a bit of gold in somewhere, and he says like the first one to get it can get blah blah blah. Obviously, the first one to get it is going to be at the hierarchy, aren't they? But instead of all going off individually into their own little groups, they all held hands and like slowly scanned the perimeter and all found the gold and split it together.
Oh, and that's good.
And now in some minds, when I talk about that, they're going to be thinking of a really fat, like stereotypical what you believe to be that elite individual, and it just being black people or multicultural people. But if you just believe that as being evil, and then the minority as well as the lower class being other people coming together, holding hands and sharing the gold, then maybe that'd be a better outcome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's how. That is why I'm saying that you cannot have an outcome like such you said in this system. It cannot exist. Like the system is already corrupt. You have to sort it out.
But you haven't tried yet. You haven't even tried within this system. You're talking about going away in a different system.
You cannot try within the system. Everyone that tries within this system gets corrupt in the system.
The thing is, that's the problem though. Like, it's been this long here, and this system is still corrupt. So that's the problem, right?
Yeah,
so what do we do? Do we change
point.
the system, or do we replace it with something else?
You've been trying to change the system.
It's a good point. No, we have.
say.
Of course, we've been trying to change it, but not to the point of today's power. Because back then we didn't have these devices in our hands, so it's a big time still. It's so early days.
But how much control do these devices have in making change in like higher places, in like policies?
They're still going to take it away from us.
No, it's about putting a picture on your Instagram or blah blah blah. I think it's about using them to actually show injustices and police brutality, of course, as well as setting up events where we all actually come together. But
which is what a lot of people have been doing.
Yeah,
people
but
have been doing that.
Yeah,
look at this. This system uses
even the Black Lives Matter. That's what
the system uses the police as a system of oppression.
There's no leader, like you said, though, for that.
Like,
what did you say?
This system uses the police as a system of oppression.
Of course they do.
Now look at.
Okay, so do we need the police then?
We don't need. We don't need police. We actually don't need police.
Shit, did you read that article I sent you about?
Yeah.
Police
How policing was set up like by colonialism or something.
Yeah,
that's how it was introduced, basically.
Victorians, and then that was to protect them from the lower class and the colored people.
Exactly.
That's what the police was for.
Slave catchers.
Now,
Yeah, I know. But
so what do we do now?
But
Do we say fuck the police, or do we say we change it?
Even though, like, you would think my ancestors did that, I'm not. Even though I've got nothing to do with that, I'm also a slave to the system. But all slave to the system if we live to wish here. The moment I knew I was a slave is when I realised I couldn't do something I wanted to do. And that's within this system. If you don't like it, we just gotta go in it, live off grid or something, and move to another place.
Like, if you have to move. But I'm just, that's what I'm saying, like, separate. We should all be thinking.
Like to separate, but obviously if you really believe that 100%, you would have spoke with your actions, you wouldn't be here talking to us.
Unify and separate. Like, I cannot separate
That's
myself.
so funny, that's a paradox within itself. It sounds so like hypocritical. Unify and separate.
I mean,
explain, please.
Like-minded
explain.
people should unify and separate.
But but the bigger the group, the lower the IQ.
But listen, if there's an idea,
how big it's gonna be as well.
If there's an idea. That's the thing about ideas. They can be repeated, and they're long lasting, and they live. That is my motto.
Though.
That is my motto. Because, like,
what's a good idea and what's a bad idea?
It depends on the person listening, innit?
The person listening.
Yeah.
I said this quote before, but I think you should just be aware of any like sort of group mentality or ideology that promotes the division between your fellow like human beings.
That is good. That is good.
Like you're saying that's good, but you're sitting here promoting the division between our fellow human beings.
But I'm just trying to tell you that in reality, there's a section of people that do not think of their fellow as human beings. So I'm like, you cannot escape that. I wish it was all like we can all be fixed tomorrow, la la la, everyone's holding hands. But this system uses the police as a form of aggression against every single colour people.
So then we need to start educating ourselves more on this policing system. Because I come into this when I was like 17 or something. It made me really depressed when I was looking into how they set up laws and legal document fiction characters and that kind of stuff. We need to start coming together more if you want do that thing and talked about police stuff over there. But we need to just to come together and educate each other more.
But not everyone wants to be educated. Not everyone wants to be educated.
How no, definitely not.
But that's the thing. Listen,
and I feel like they'd be left behind.
What I think is the intelligent thing about the system is it's taking over our education system, our media. We pay taxes.
What is it?
Since 2015, we've been paying taxes to slavers.
Yeah, to slave orders, isn't it? Reparations.
You got anything else? You want to talk about statues?
Statues. You know what? Because there are some people out there that are black British. I'm not black British. I'm Nigerian. I'm a migrant into this country, and there's some black British out there, and they feel a certain way about the statues. For them, I'm considerate. Take the statues down. I pay taxes. Yeah, take the statues down. You know, that's it. Because I'm considerate of them. You know, my ancestors were slaves, and some of my ancestors in the first family were not slaves. So, yeah, I'm like, I have no problem with them taking down the statues. If that's what
If that's what they want to do, then do them, innit? But it doesn't make sense to like it's not gonna solve racism. Like taking down the statues, it's not gonna solve racism.
It is not going to.
And obviously we can't what I would do. Here's what I would do. Let me finish.
Okay.
This is what I would do. I would put the statues in the museums.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah. Boom. That's part of your history. You put it there. That's
don't
fine.
put it in public. Yeah. But I'll say this system is so racist that they will not even put it in the museum.
Think about the Winston Churchill statue.
It was possibly built upon racist foundations and encouraged because of the conditioning of the cult-like mentality. Because you know what the majority of people are, they're idiots and they're fucking sheep. Majority of them are. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's still of that today. Because if it was, if any sort of people, no matter what colour, was hitting down statues of them, there'd be big problems. But there ain't. They're putting them in museums.
Well,
and it is fucked up that they actually have statues of that. Obviously.
Exactly. But put them in museums. I'm like,
yeah, they're going to it now.
Yeah, but that's the solution.
But does it take this? Does it have to be like a little bit violent in order to actually fucking do something? You know what I mean? Can we actually have a peaceful revolution?
No. The thing is,
that's the point.
The thing is,
no one's like trying to be like, oh yeah, please stop doing this. Everyone's like fucking mad now.
The thing is,
like, obviously this is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first time this has happened. It's been happening since slavery. The people have been revolting since
Haiti.
Like, and that was like the biggest
18th century. And then the thing is, I was in Goldsmith, shout out, University. There's a slave ship, a statue of a slave ship there.
Whoa.
And in the town that Goldsmith University is, and it's owned by Goldsmith Uni. So there was the students there who were signing petitions to get the thing removed. Yeah. Guess what?
What?
They said no.
Well, there you go then. So I don't know. Maybe
I'm just saying
just because you ask.
I'm just saying this system doesn't care. It really doesn't care about these people. Like and you think you cannot.
And the thing is, it doesn't even matter. Like, how is that gonna? I mean, I get it. I can't understand that feeling as well. So yeah, I empathize with like the black British that want to take that look at that and then they remember like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah. My ancestors
were slaves and shit. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
A constant reminder every single time you step out the door.
It's like they're trying to like fucking rub it in your faces or something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like imagine
the very top points as well. They are scared to fuck. They are hard scared. Trust me.
They are.
The only
That's
reason
why they try to divide us like this.
Of course, because there's so many lies and stuff that provide that sort of division and stuff. Because they're scared as fuck. Because if we actually did come together and start doing certain things like that. Micro-aggressively, they're going to start seeing, they're actually coming together and they're seeing through our system and fuckery, and we're going to have to change.
And guess what? Supporting the black movement will do that.
And everyone is as well. That's the
I'm just saying,
maybe it's a part of it. Maybe it's a part of the black people to show them the other minorities as well as the lower class to then do that. Maybe it's not part of it, but I still don't believe in the